Hi, my name's Bren, and welcome to Project Str-Eng. In this series, we're learning about the fundamentals of structural engineering and how it affects our day-to-day lives. Today, we're learning about free body diagrams, but first, let's talk about history. Free body diagrams are extensively used by engineers in something called statics. The word static means stationary and has to do with forces acting at equilibrium, which happens when an object or body is at rest. When an object is at static equilibrium, this means that the sum of all its net forces is at zero. When you're standing completely still, not moving forward or backward, left or right, up or down or diagonal, you'd be considered to be static. Although Archimedes did pioneering work in statics, the founder of statics is considered to be Thabit ibn Qurra, a 9th century scholar who revolutionized traditional Arabic science. His fascination with Greek science led him to revising several Greek scientific texts, which were translated into Arabic by his colleagues. He is the author of the Book of the Steelyard, or better known as the Book of the Balance Beam, which is undoubtedly the most influential text of the Arabic mechanical tradition. For both you and I to learn more, let's check out Hallie's interview with our friend Mohammed. Time for the interview.
So, Mohammed, what is a free body diagram?
Okay, so in engineering or in any system, there's multiple components of a system. So a free body diagram is taking a particular body and isolate it and then analyzing it. So a free body diagram has two main components. First of all, you have to isolate the particular body from the system, and then the second component is showing all the external forces acting on that component. So if I can show an example in here. So in this door stopper, if I wanted to do a free body diagram, for example, of this bolt in here that's in the middle, let's say I'm applying forces on it on either side of it. So the way I would do it is I want to isolate that bolt by itself and then apply external forces. So I'm applying two external forces. So a free body diagram of that bolt will include a force going in one direction and then a force going in the opposite direction. So a free body diagram, it's an analytical tool used to simplify structures, and it helps to analyze the unknown forces also in a structure.
How do we use a free body diagram in our everyday life?
Well, a free body diagram, it's mostly used by engineers or people who want to analyze a structure. So a regular person, won't necessarily be using a free body diagram unless they want to analyze something. So if they want to analyze the force on this bolt, as I mentioned, they would want to draw a free body diagram on it so they can choose the bolt, select the size of the bolt, and know what the force is acting on the bolt and what the unknown force is on the bolt as well. So it's mostly used by, I would say, engineers and physicists and people who analyze structures.
And how do you use, I guess I shouldn't say we. How do you use a free body diagram in terms of structural engineering?
So in structural engineering, let's say you have a building or a bridge. A building has multiple columns, has multiple beams. Let's say you want to design one beam or one column. So the way you would do it is you would want to isolate that particular column, show all the forces acting on it, all the external forces acting on it, and based on that, you'd be able to determine the unknown forces on it. On a bridge, for example, let's say you want to analyze a bridge girder. So you want to isolate that particular girder, show all the external forces acting on it, and then based on that, you can determine internal forces on that member, and then you can size the member and make sure it stays in equilibrium, which means it doesn't move. Another interesting fact about this door stopper is actually you cannot move it left or right or upside and down, but what you can do it is rotate it. So if you were to draw a free body diagram of this bolt, you would show a force on it left and right. It's preventing it. So there's a force acting on it. That's why it's preventing it from moving left and right and also upside and down. So rotation in engineering is called moment. So this particular system is not restrained against moment, but restrained against horizontal and vertical movement.
What's been your favorite moment in engineering?
Well, in general, like designing new structures or seeing new problems and new challenges. I mean, I guess you could say every day is
your favorite part?
It's my favorite moment.
That's a good answer.
So basically, a free body diagram is a graphical illustration used to visualize the applied forces, moments, and resulting reactions on a body in a given condition. These diagrams are frequently used to determine the loading of individual structural components and to calculate internal forces within a structure. Free body diagrams consist of a simplified version of the body, often being a dot or a box, forces shown with straight arrows pointing in the direction they act on the body, moments shown as curves with an arrowhead, or a vector with two arrowheads pointing in the direction they act on the body, one or more reference coordinate systems, and reactions to applied forces shown with hash marks through the stem of the vector. In an analysis, a free body diagram is used by summing all forces and moments. When the sum of all forces and moments is zero, the body is either at rest, moving, and/or rotating at a constant velocity, as stated in Newton's first law. Oh, there it is. If the sum is not zero, then the body is accelerating in a direction or about an axis, according to Newton's second law. Like that. That wraps up this episode of Project Str-Eng. A special thank you to Mohammed for teaching us about free body diagrams. And a special thank you to you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to learn more about structural engineering with me. And don't forget to enjoy the process.
Where did you get that door stopper?
I broke a door.
Do you promise not to break doors from now on?
No.